watching grandkids ball game,
Yeah,
and up at Foundation Field, it was pouring like crazy.
yeah, I know it.
And come back towards. Good morning. Good morning.
We left Cook Complex because they canceled the games because of lightning. So they canceled the games there, and by the time we got to Highway 20, everything was dry. It was just pouring at Cook Complex.
Yeah.
And we hit Highway 20, it's like the light switch was turned off and it was dry. It was weird.
I had forgot they'd renamed that. I thought, didn't that used to be Koch Field or something like that?
Cook. It's Cook. K-O-C-H.
Cook. Okay.
As in the
KOCH.
Cook brothers.
Cook Complex.
And now it's Foundation Field.
No, Foundation Field is north of 3rd Avenue.
So it's Cook as in Coke.
The field's
There's three
north
pieces.
of 3rd Avenue.
One in
By the
Brewer
curve,
Township.
Yeah.
21st Street,
Right,
that's
right in
Foundation.
Florence, correct.
That's Foundation.
Right.
Oh.
But they're
In
not
your
playing
minutes.
adult
They're
games
in
at
your
Cook
packet.
Complex anymore.
Yep, in your packet.
Playing adult
Okay.
games.
Yep.
It sounds. They're not playing adult games. Sorry.
The men and
Not
women's
this time.
leagues are
We
playing
haven't
over in
taken
the
it
new
up right there.
softball.
We have not finalized
Because
that.
the little kids were over there. The eight-year-olds were
That's a
over
lot.
there.
That's a lot of softball space. Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal though.
We've got a lot of softball teams.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know where our sheriff is, but he'll be here.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's 9 a.m. and welcome to the June 19th weekly Board of County Commissioners weekly meeting. We'll begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Brenda, you want to lead us this morning? Thank you, Brenda. A couple of housekeeping things before we get started. If you have a cell phone, which more likely you do, please silence it or shut it off. If you do get a call that you need to take, please step out in the rotunda area and take the call so you don't disrupt the meeting. Also, this meeting is being streamed live, and so if you wish to address the commission, you will probably be on, you will be streamed live, and so you may want to just check your hairdo before you. The other thing is there anyone in the audience today that has any thing that they would like to bring to the commission during the open? Anything that's not listed on the agenda? Any special concern or something similar to that? We do that simply so that we can allow time so that you can address the commission during the open session. Seeing none then, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion by Van Duzen and a second by Gable. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. What about the June 12th meetings?
Move
A
to
motion to
approve
approve by
as
Hampton.
emailed.
Second.
And seconded by Gable. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Number 4 on the agenda then is auction of property taken by tax deed proceedings. We have 3 parcels this morning. This is how this is going to work. Our newly elected sheriff, congratulations, Brad.
Thank you.
Is going to conduct the auction, so we want the lingo. Now, that comes with the,
Well, I'm not an auctioneer, and I don't claim to be on TV either, so
just get it sold, that's the thing.
we'll
Then
get her sold.
if you get her sold, then you're approved. Go
All
ahead.
right, sounds good. Well, we got a lot of stuff to read here. Just kind of follow with me here, and we'll get through this here. All proceeds from this auction will be used to pay the delinquent taxes, penalties, interest, and costs, as per South Dakota Codified Laws 10-25-12. All special assessments, except for delinquent municipal special assessments, are abated from the property. Only municipal special assessments, delinquent, current, and future, stay with the property and are the responsibility of the new owner. The property is also subject to any claim that the state may have in the property for taxes, liens, or encumbrances. It is presumed that existing federal liens remain against the property. Any information, questions, negotiations on these liens to be directed to the appropriate form of government, not the county. The issuance of tax deed pursuant to SDCL 102512 appears to release all other liens of record against the property, not the person. Examples are county liens, mechanics liens, and special assessments of all non-municipal governments, judgments, and mortgages. In addition to your bid, there will be a $30 recording fee charged. Once a successful bidder has been determined, they will proceed to the treasurer's office to submit their payment by 3 o'clock today. Stop up here at the treasurer's office.
5 o'clock.
3 o'clock to be exact.
Oh, okay, she didn't change this. All
By
right.
3 o'clock today.
Thank you. Yep.
After the acceptance of this bid by the Board of Commissioners next week, Guidant County will issue a file quit claim deed to the property in the name requested by the purchaser. Guidant County makes no guarantee of absolute fee, simple marketable title to the property. It is recommended by the marketable title standards that the purchaser of a county quit claim deed pursue a quiet title action in order to acquire a marketable title to the property as per SDCL Chapter 43-30, Title Standards 2601 and 2602. All right,
Thank you, Brad.
we'll get started here.
The starting bid, Cindy has those.
Which piece do you want? Do you have it all?
I got them here too.
Brad's
so-
got it.
Okay,
All right,
yeah,
but
yeah.
just notify or identify which piece we're starting with.
Okay, we'll start with the first property. It's in the city of Watertown here. It's Block 3, Horning First Edition. It is a triangular shaped parcel with a lot size of approximately 2,132 square feet. It's located on the corner of 11th Street Northeast and East Kemp, assessed as non-ag. Last assessment value was $2,355. There are no structures on the property, and property deeded to Cotton County on 6/6/2017. Record number 18426. Going to start out with the minimum bid of $298.27. One bid back here for $298.27.
Get his name.
Yep. What was your name?
Neil Larson.
Neil Larson.
I own property right beside it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Give you guys a couple seconds here then. $298.27. Any other bids? All right. Going once, twice, and sold to Neil Larson. You got his information there? Cindy?
I will, yep.
Can you give a phone number when we're done here?
520-7939.
All right, I have some paperwork for you to take to the treasurer's office when you go to pick. All right.
The next property, Lake Township. It's the west 49.5 feet of the north 39 feet of the south 1,650 feet of the west 275 feet, except the west 16.5 feet of the northwest quarter. It's the northwest quarter of section 24, township 117, north, range 53, west of the 5th PM. The lot size is approximately 0.03 acres. It's located near 2418 Sioux Conifer Road, assessed as non-ag. Last assessment value was $484. There are no structures on the lot. Tax deed issued to Cotton County on 11/15/2017, and record number is 19346. Going to open up bidding on this one for $340.71. 340.71. It's the minimum bid on this one. Lake Township. No bidders. Any questions on this one? Maybe the board or anybody can answer? Nothing? We'll skip this one. We'll maybe come back to it and let you guys think a little bit. All right, number 3, Fuller Township. This is the east 227.13 feet of government lot 1 in section 8, township 118 north, range 54 west of the 5th PM. Subject to the right-of-way, the address is 601 Thorson Avenue, Florence. The lot size is approximately 2.44 acres. It's assessed as non-ag. Last assessment value was $76,900. $926. There are structures on the lot, and the tax deed was issued to Cuyahoga County on November 15, 2017. The record number is 954. We'll open up bidding on this one at $10,742.18. $10,742.18. And your name? Shane Rebby. Okay, got that, Cindy. Okay, got one bid at $10,742.18.
I'll take the next bid.
Next bid, you go with 11,000. 11,000. Back here. Okay, 11,250. All right, Shane again, 11,250. 11,500. Yep. 11,500. 11,750. 12. Yeah, 12. Gail's got 12. What, 12,500? 12,500. 13. 12,750. 13. 13. 13,250. Dale. 13,500. 14. 13,750 right up front here right now. Do we have any others?
Okay, who's got 13,750 to
Right up here, yeah, Shane.
Okay.
13,750. Anything else?
Yeah.
You have 14 or 14 back to Dale?
Okay.
Dave.
Dave, sorry about that. 14,250. 14,250 up here again. 14,500. Dave again.
Okay.
14,750. All right. Shane again.
Okay.
15.
Even?
15 even. 15 even. Yeah, right now.
Rebby's got it at
14,750.
14,750.
15.
One guy.
15. Okay. 15. 15,250. Shane. 15,500. 15,500. 15,500. Going once. We're at 15,250 right now.
Correct.
15,250, going once, going twice, sold to Shane here. 15,250.
Is it SHANEREPPE? Okay.
And we'll need to get some information, a phone number from Shane.
Yeah. 1894.
Thank you, Shane.
One more time on the Lake Township, that was the middle one that we did. Want me to read that again, or is there any interest in that one? Lake Township?
Yeah, read it.
All right, we'll read one more time. It's the west 49.5 feet, of the north 39 feet, of the south 1,650 feet, of the west 275 feet, except the west 16.5 feet of the northwest quarter of section 24, township 117 north, range 53, west of the 5th PM.
Can you explain where that's located?
I don't know where it's located. Maybe, does the board have any idea where it's located?
I should, but I don't.
Near Sioux Conifer Road.
It's near,
Sean, you know?
I guess if I read a little further down here. I got, actually, if I read down a little bit more here, it's next to 2418 Sioux Conifer Road. Next to 2418 Sioux Conifer Road. It looks like it's 49.5 feet by 39 feet. Very small little corner. The lot size is approximately .03 acres. It's located near 2418 Sioux Conifer Road. Assessed as non-ag. Last assessment value was $484. There are no structures on the lot. And the tax deed issued to Cottington County on 11/15/2017. Say once again, the bid's open on this one at $340.71. Is it next to someone's driveway, or is it kind of is a driveway? Or?
Yeah, it's the first part of the driveway right off the road.
Okay.
Would you say, what driveway? Whose driveway? Is that Sioux Valley?
Yeah, next to Sioux Conifer Road.
It was
Yeah.
a repossession, and they didn't repossess that piece of the legal extension, so when it was sold, that piece
Yeah.
of legal extension wasn't sold.
$340.71. Any takers? All right. I guess we'll hold off on that one for now. We'll let the board decide what they want to do on that one.
Carol notified.
No takers on the driveway.
She did notify, yeah. And, if it doesn't sell, if it doesn't, no, you can have that. If it doesn't sell today, somebody can come in within, I think, the next 12 months and, submit a bid to the board.
Has to be what, 90% of the assessed value or
That I
appraised
don't know,
value?
I'm not sure of that yet. Carol was working on that, but, yeah. And she did notify the property owner adjacent to this piece, so.
There you go.
Thanks, Brad.
Make sure you stop up to the treasurer's office and
Thank you, Brad.
get your information decision.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, folks. All right. Got that job done. Let's go on to monthly reports. Let's start out with Milo, facility report. Facility manager. Come on, Milo.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I'll start out with Memorial Park. The park has been extremely busy. Out there, you might say Carol and I have been baptized by fire. All has gone well for the most part. We did have a major power outage over the Memorial Day weekend, which was caused by a municipal utilities transformer that malfunctioned. Other than that, it's been less complicated problems, primarily due to heavy usage, plug sewers, minor electrical fixes, that type of thing. The windstorm that came through 2 weeks ago did some minor damage. We broke out a window in one of the buildings and lost some shingles off of the house. The house is looking like something we may have to move up a little higher on the priority list. We lost maybe up to 4 or 5 trees in the park, numerous branches throughout, but everything has been cleaned up. We are finding many things that need attention out there. We don't have enough manpower or budget to accommodate everything that needs to be done, so I would anticipate we're going to be playing catch-up out there for a couple of years. And we've been trying to prioritize items as we find them, and we'll just work through that list as we can. We're going to concentrate on the Lakeside Chapel and Compesca Hall over the next month. That would be what we used to call Building 3 and Building 5. We hope to get the new roof and new windows installed in the chapel, hoping for this month. A new coat of paint is in the works for Compesca Hall. It was something Myron mentioned one of the last times he was out there. We have been on a mission to rekey and change out locks throughout the park. We inherited a bucket full of keys and identified the ones that we could. We felt it was necessary to kind of make a change just due to the number of keys that have been distributed over the years. I think there's probably a possibility that there were people outside the park that had more knowledge of what the keys went to than us, maybe. That's about it for the park. Ag building, the roofing project continues on the building. At my last visit, they had covered both expo buildings and had moved on to the echo chamber roof area. Last week during the youth safety camp.
Excuse me. Can we have somebody? Yeah, thank you. It's a huge distraction. No problem. Sorry.
We can't shut the door though.
No,
Just,
door
No, we
does
just
stay
need
open.
to tell them to be quiet.
yeah,
Get the sheriff, shush him out.
yeah, just a little bit.
The sheriff's making all the noise out there.
Sorry, Milo, go ahead.
Okay, last week during the youth safety camp out there, we had an incident where a piece of machinery was come in contact with one of the buildings, let's put it that way. Did some pretty heavy damage on the south end of the barn. We're in the process of, actually I had Gray Construction come out on that Thursday, the day it happened, and secure the building. You know, we covered up the 12-foot or 14-foot garage door there on the south end of the barn, and you know, so we could secure the building.
I saw that plywood that's covering that.
Yeah. So if you drive by out there, that's what happened. There's a 6x6 post between the entry door and the overhead door that was actually snapped off and moved in a foot or 18 inches or so. So we're kind of at the mercy of contractors in order to get that fixed, but at least we're secure for the time being.
The overhead door okay?
No, it's not.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
The heavy rain we had last week did flood out the barn area once again. We had installed underground drain tile and a pump. That was not enough to move the massive amount of water that come off of that roof in between buildings. We did get some prices on installing some more gutters in that area, but I wasn't convinced that that would solve the problem either. There was just so much water coming off that roof. I think it would have overwhelmed gutters also. The pump worked well, worked as designed. It was moving a lot of water, but it's just not capable of keeping up with that amount of rain that fell in an hour and a half period. Staff was able to get the barn cleaned up and get the water pumped out. We had a livestock show out there over the weekend. It was in reasonably good shape by then, so I think we'll probably let things go as is. The northwest parking lot work has been completed. We had the cracks filled. A couple of bad areas were milled out and resurfaced, and then the entire lot on that northwest corner was sealed and parking stripes repainted. Courthouse, the remodel project continues. They delivered sheetrock yesterday, and they'll be working. They're going to start hanging that as we speak. This will be down in the new clerk of courts area. We're looking very closely at the schedule, trying to identify a time, when we can start our portion of the work, which would be after the clerk of court moves to their new area, and then we have kind of a rush going on to get equalization moved up to the area that clerk of court's vacated.
Yeah.
That's kind of a
Quarter of a feet.
yeah.
It's a quarter.
Yeah. So we're working with that one, trying to keep tabs, almost daily on when moves might occur. But when that does happen, it's going to get a little interesting around here.
It's like dominoes. You got to wait for the first piece to fall.
Yep, that's
before
right,
the rest
exactly.
Come. Yep.
We did, as everyone is aware of, we just completed the primary elections. Staff assisted auditor's office in moving
Very
election
much
equipment.
appreciated also.
Pardon?
Very much appreciated. They've moved things out of the back office downstairs. We've gotten rid of some things from the last primary that we're allowed to throw away now, and making room for more for this fall.
Great.
So everyone's been pretty busy. The crack sealing project in this parking lot south of the courthouse was started last night. I see they must have got interrupted by the rain. They have quite a few of the cracks rounded out. Not sure what the plan is when they're going to come back and finish that off. At Detention Center, the building is currently experiencing a hot spell over there. We had a leak in an air conditioning coil that's been been kind of a work in process since last Friday. If you had any visitation from the workers over there at all over the weekend, they'll probably tell you it wasn't a very fun place to be. We had areas that hit 80 degrees.
Yeah, I was in there late Friday night. I think it was about 82, 83 degrees in there.
I think we're on the downside of that one now. They located the leak and got it fixed, and now they're waiting to see if the pressure holds. And so hopefully we have that one behind us. The generator building, that project that had the fuel pump that was not working, that was found and corrected last week. Jim Sutton kind of spearheaded that project. So I'll let him give you the details when he gives his report. So that's the quick version of what's happening in my world for the last month. Any questions?
Just one question, not a question, just clarification. We were criticized in the paper here just this past week. Well, the county, I was too, but this is the county, in reference to why we went out of town for the remodel project, Mills Construction. And just for clarification, what was the difference between their bid and the next nearest bid? People need to understand that in the same breath they were complaining about taxes and criticizing for us going out of town. Well, if we would have stayed in town, it would have cost us a lot more money, and their taxes may have gone up. So people need to think before they write, or before they, go out publicly and really criticize. I don't mind being criticized when we deserve it. What was the difference, Lee?
It's over $200,000.
$200,000. So you put that in your pipe and smoke it, whoever wrote that letter to the editor. And
well, actually more than that, probably closer to
200,000 plus.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the alternates. So yeah, it's about 300,000 and some change.
And
Aren't
so,
we by statute also supposed to go with the lowest
Yeah,
bidder?
we have to go
So
with the lowest
we
qualified
need
bid.
to take the lowest bidder. We don't have a choice in that.
The lowest qualified bid.
by law, we have
Yeah.
to take the lowest qualified bidder,
Yeah.
but people just don't understand that. And then they go public and say, and criticize us for being poor stewards, and that's what bothers me, because we as a commission, that's our job, to get the job done legally at the least cost and be within the letter of the law. And that's what we did. And we saved the county $200,000+. And amen. Thank you, Milo. Appreciate it. Any questions for Milo?
Mr. Chairman, there's a couple items on the agenda we could maybe
Yeah.
get. Would you want to?
Let's go on then to, does he have anything to do with the change order?
Number 8.
I can explain it. We can hit that
8?
one. Yeah, I can hit that one.
Milo, is that,
Do you
Yeah,
know what
I'll pass on that one.
okay?
Go to 9.
I can
Electric
explain.
lock system?
Yes, the lock system would be one of mine. I brought this up to the board 2 or 3 weeks ago that this is something that was coming with the lock system that has been recommended and is being put in use in the remodel in order to coming up with a lack of words here. How did I place that on the agenda? Or how did I word
To
that?
correspond with the new system
Okay.
installed in the remodel area.
To correspond with our existing system, to make it correspond with the new system, we'll take some work to reconfigure that. The original price tag on that was $14,000 plus. We have a one-time offer to do that same work for $9,500 if they can do it at the same time as the construction prior to the remodel project is going on. Basically, we're saving, $5,000 worth of labor.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I can piggyback on what Milo was
Sure.
saying. So essentially, we have the subcontractor offering to do the rest of this, and he's waiving his labor costs for the portion to do. So it's actually less than the 14,000. So what does that come out to?
Yeah.
9,500.
9,515.
So
I would make a motion that we would do that project now and save those dollars.
I'd
We have
second
a
that.
motion by Hatton, second by Gable. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman, Milo, could you talk about the significance of this just a little bit, why this is a good thing to do?
Okay, it's what it boils down to, instead of having two separate locking systems in the courthouse, you know, where it would require you to carry two separate fobs, you know, to gain entrance to the front door and then turn around and gain entrance to your office, perhaps. This will combine everything into one system. Just a lot cleaner, more up to date system, better reporting.
Is, I guess, one question I have, Mr. Chairman. So if say if we don't do this, and, you know, is it likely that we'd have to decide at some point to do it anyway?
Yeah,
So-
quite. At some point, this,
And at that time, it could
Should
cost
be
us
done.
almost $15,000 to
Right.
have it done, so we're actually saving quite a bit.
Now, is there enough money in the contingency in the building project to handle this?
Well, this would be kind of similar to the other parts that we've recognized the fact that, you know, we took some money when we budgeted for this year out of the Future Building Projects Fund, at least that pot of money, that's what we're calling it, because of some, you know, contingencies, things like this. The sprinkler project, we're going to have to probably either go look at commissioner's contingency or to the rest of that fund that we didn't place into the budget and do it. If we have to, we do another budget hearing to put that in there. If I'm correct, Cindy, I think in what I'm saying. So the money's there. So and the sooner we take care of it, the cheaper it's going to be. Is essentially the thing we have to think about.
Okay, any
And how
more
many
discussion?
years is this going to be good for, Milo? Because
It's
the other one
technology.
was good for 5.
you know, it's technology, so, you know, a month after they installed, it's already a month old. You know, so if your crystal ball is clearer than mine on that one, you know, I would hope that would last for quite some time. But with this particular system, I'm told, is supported by the company so they can provide software updates, you know, as they move along.
Good. Any more questions or comments?
Yeah, and I think the other thing about it is the overall management of the system gets a lot more straightforward and a lot less messy and you know, more secure eventually. So that's the big.
That was
big
going to
thing.
be my question, Milo. Do you program those key fobs here, or do we have to send them out?
Currently, we program them
Okay.
in-house.
Okay.
So we don't have to worry about any additional expenses.
Right.
For programming.
Right.
Anything else? Good questions. Any more comments?
Yeah.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Lee, would you like to have Milo stay in
Yeah, I
that
can-
discussion?
I can
Should we
hit-
do it now?
Yeah, I
while
can knock
Milo's
it out.
here?
Yeah, we can knock it out,
Okay,
Mr.
let's
Chairman.
go back then to number 8, the change order that we're
Okay.
referring to here.
Yeah.
Rick, we'll get you here shortly. Okay.
Yeah, this is, Mr. Chairman, thank you. So this is number 8 on the agenda. There's a whole stack of stuff that goes with it. And then I added a little, I think this morning Cindy placed on your desks this thing with a little table.
Yep.
So it starts, so, so Mr. Chairman, this is a change order to reroute some of the ductwork. So there's no air handling system in the lower part of the courthouse right now. So part of the remodel is to install an air handling system. The architect, in looking at the original blueprints, was hopeful that we could get the ductwork through a plenum over the back entrance. Once the contractor looked at that, there was no space between, I guess, the plaster and the actual building structure to do that. So they want to reroute it through the basement. So go down and under that south entrance and back up again to route it. So that's the only. It's essentially a change in ductwork. All the other, the air handling unit, all that stuff would still be able to handle that. And so the total cost of doing that, additional cost, is $3,343. And I thought that's for the duct work and a little bit of drywall work, and just this little table is kind of the net result of the different change orders. So the first thing you can see with the credits from the change orders, and the added costs were still to the good by $5,953. Yeah, $5,953 if you include this change order. So to include first change order where we moved that we changed the lobby layout a little bit in the clerk of courts, and then this one, and then a credit before those two change orders, we're still ahead a little bit. So, and I would make that motion.
Okay, is there any questions for Lee?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Motion by Gable, second by Hanton. Any other discussion?
Just, Mr. Chairman, this is kind of one of those things with an older building where you can't quite see everything in the blueprints, and so they try to do the most direct, most cost-effective option. So this is kind of the second most cost-effective option, given that it didn't, the issue with an old building came up. So.
And they did waiver some of the labor.
I think the labor's pretty much included just some of it. I didn't
I
really
thought
see
they
that.
said that they had waived.
I think you might be looking at the motion we just talked about, Mr.
Milo's
Chairman.
project.
Yeah, for the
yeah.
locks.
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Any more discussion? Anything else? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you, Milo and Lee.
Thank you.
Thanks, Milo.
Let's go on then, let's get back on track here to the highway superintendent's report. Rick? Good morning, Rick. And then we do have a couple of things. When you finish with your report, we'll just go on to number 6 and 7. So we're jumping around a little bit here. Appreciate the patience.
Morning, Rick.
Morning. Well, today's the first day we started chip sealing, and I'm hoping it doesn't rain. We started on 38th Avenue, just off Suconifer Road. There's a half mile that Lake Township wanted us to start on. And that's where they were going to start. Then they're going to go up on County Road 6, west of the casino. Because the bridge is going to get an epoxy seal on it at the end of July. And we wanted to do a little bit in there so we don't have any oil tracked onto the bridge after it's done. So there'll be roughly a mile that gets done. So, and then we're leaving because we're going to have to haul P-rock through there, and we don't want miles and miles that we have to keep driving over. So it gets enough traffic all on its own. And then we're going to move down to County Road 10 west of Memorial Park. That gets chip sealed all the way over to County Road 23 north of Tinkertown. And then there's 5 miles south of Tinkertown that gets done. And then we have to do the town of Henry. And then we're going to move up and do County Road 11 by your place. So we've got a little bit to do.
Yep, it'll be busy.
And then I've been in contact with Dunnick's for the mill and overlay. They're thinking around the 4th of July in there is when they're going to start milling, but everything's been pushed back. So sometime in July it's going to get milled and overlaid. So
Now, what section is that?
that's from County Road 11,
Yep,
6 miles going east.
yep.
And I would like to do 1,000 feet on the west side of 11. There's culverts there, and it's rough, and there's a kind of a bottom there that's kind of unraveled.
Spillway.
Yep. So I'd like to have them do that as long as they're right there.
Will you put the rumble strips back in
Yes,
then?
yes, yep, yep. Because we'll have nice fresh asphalt. It'll be later on after the asphalt is cured out nice, so it leaves a nice crisp mark. Do you like the ones on 6 and 17?
6 and 17.
Yep. Yep, they'll be identical to that, so. And, the town of South Shore is moving forward on a community access grant. It's called the Community Access and Ag Business Grant. It's for their truck route to the elevator. And they'd like, see, part of it belongs to the county. There's 1,700 feet when you cross over Highway 20, when you come from the south on County Road 3. Right, there's a block there, and then it goes back to the east to County Road 3. Part of that needs to be regraded, and the grant that they're applying for has changed this year. It's went up to $600 or $600,000, excuse me, and it's a 80-20 split. The state will pay that. We'll have to reimburse, or they'll reimburse us the 80%. So, but the city of South Shore will be in on that because they have part that goes to the west that needs attention for drainage, and it's soft, and they would like to have it paved. I'm not sure about that, you know, because it's a truck route. In the other towns like Wallace and Henry, where the truck route is, it's gravel. But that's something that we'll have to work out down the road. But it'd be really nice if they get this grant. Greg Mogg from First District is helping the town of South Shore fill everything out. So that's what I have on that.
When will they find out whether they get it or not? Next year?
More likely.
More like that.
Yeah.
Question for you, Rick. You're sitting at 1,700 some odd feet or 1,700 feet. That's gravel now, and they would like it paved. If they would pave that, wouldn't that put a road restriction on that?
It depends. You would go with a truck route mat. It'd be thicker than just a regular 2-inch mat. So that's why I said in Wallace, theirs is gravel, Henry's is gravel.
Yep.
You know, part of their deal is it's dust control. Like in Wallace, their truck route is on the north side, so it doesn't affect any of the residents.
No.
So, and then in Henry, it affects a little bit, but it's 2 blocks long. And they have to turn off the county blacktop. They don't get any speed. So they're right there. But this, it's, they go a block, then they turn. So that's the only part that I would be questioned about the mat. But it would be something that if we could do, that we could turn it over to the town of South Shore, that whole section, and then they could maintain it, as does maintaining it.
So the county wouldn't put their own road restrictions on it if the South Shore wanted it.
Yeah.
They would put theirs on it.
Yeah.
And if it gets torn up in the future, who's going to do the fixing?
And that's why I would think that we turn it over to the town of South Shore. That's 1,700 feet.
You know, road restrictions have only been off about 3 weeks or
Since the
something like
29th.
that. And so
29th of
it's
May.
pretty fresh in everybody's mind yet.
Yep. Yep. I met with a pre-construction meeting with Brad Stanger and Eric Thompson from BX Civil Construction. They're the ones that are going to do the epoxy overlay on the 3 bridges. There's one west of the casino, and then there's 2 south of Brandsburg. And they plan on starting that in towards the end of July. But there again, everybody's schedule has been pushed back this year, so it's not certain when they'll be here.
It's because of the frost coming out so
Yeah.
late in the roads.
Yeah, and we're dealing with not a lot, but we have some bomb holes on our gravel roads. And since it's raining every day, we can't get anything to dry out. Can't haul stuff in, can't get dry stuff to haul in. So we're at a stalemate on that.
I was out driving around one night, and yeah, there's a lot of them out there,
Yep.
especially northeast between my place and up by your place, Mr. Chairman. I
Yep.
just-
Yeah, and it's one of those deals. We'll destroy miles of road to get to a spot.
Yeah.
So we're basically just working with the blades to try and air them out, get them so we can put some gravel on them. You know, it's just It's been one of those springs.
Well, there's a lot of misconceptions about that and how to do that, and everybody has their
Oh, yeah,
opinion.
everybody
And-
has an opinion.
And one opinion that was related to me was, well, now that it's rained, it'll dry out faster.
Yep.
Seems to have the opposite effect generally.
Yeah. You know, and sometimes rain helps take the frost out, which
Yeah.
the frost hung on forever, but now we could use a little dry weather. I hate to say that, but that would help us out tremendously.
Just a pothole in the middle of a gravel road.
Yes,
That's what it
yes,
But it is, and very well marked.
yep.
I mean, there might have been a few of the sign laths or whatever and flags that were knocked down or,
Yep.
you know, whatever reason, but yeah, pretty well marked, so nobody can say, gee, I got stuck out here and I didn't know it. And it does happen, you
No,
do get stuck
it
out
happens,
there.
you know, because there's enough of this equipment that is so big, and when they meet somebody, those little laths just get run over, and the guys, you know, when they have time, they go out, put them back up, and otherwise they're working on the spots, so, but, and now we've just completed our patching on the blacktop. County Road 27 north of Henry, they did a lot. That really cracked up bad this year. So I'm hoping that hangs together.